the back of that, Bleeda, what would you say is the worst memory you have?
225. Identified the two people killed in yesterday's drive-by shooting near the Mall of Louisiana, 18-year-old Dante Dorsey and 19-year-old Clifton Lindsay, both from Baton Rouge.
Why that day, Bleeda?
His cousin died. He got killed. My father got killed.
Well, Katie, since 6 o'clock, we have learned new information about that deadly shooting, and the two victims just teamed.
Hey, my fault for pausing that bitch earlier. If y'all don't remember, I did a reaction to that video. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go check it on my channel to watch if y'all want to watch it and see what he talking about. You know, go do that.
Who were killed?
Oh, it looks like there's a lot of trauma, bro. Like, I'm here standing and speaking to you. It seems like there's a lot that's affected you, bro.
I don't even feel him. I be feeling like a dog. Like I just take the most pain without making no noise.
Imagine just getting signed. People starting to pick up your music outside your home state. But then you get some pride while you in the local mall. A crew who you known to have beef with post their presence. And in return, you whip out your firearm and wave it for the gram. Inside this local mall, like cameras not watching. Long behold, the police end up locking you up. But once they got you, they indict you for murder. Last year. Let's be real. At that point, you probably wish you wasn't so stupid. But what if that was all you knew? Your mom passed away when you was just 4 years old. And by the time you was in the 6th grade, they sent you to Texas to go live with your dad. You was getting out of hand.
Nigga was a badass like that.
I've been staying in Baton Rouge my whole life. My whole life I stayed in Baton Rouge, but in 6th grade, you heard me, I moved to Texas though with my dad because I kept getting in trouble in school and shit, flashing out, beating the and shit, crashing. I'm talking about. I swear to God, that's how I beat the one time, son. I bust out the nose, and you see blood all on the wall. Talking about my mom, you know, my mom passed away. I was 4 years old. Like that shit, I used to be hype over this shit. Like that shit used to get a nigga high. You hear me? Like I couldn't take that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Now for those who don't know, that's a local rapper from Louisiana who go by the name of RealBleeda, alongside his friend who passed away, who we'll briefly speak on in this video. But the reason I just let you see that clip is because recently, within the last 24 hours, after being arrested for almost a month, this local rapper has been indicted for a murder. The murder of a woman in her 40s who was gunned down last year during a drive-by. Today we disclose the details to that case. We also go over all public information leading up to that and see who this rapper is and his affiliations. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna jump right to it.
We're gonna jump right to it.
The Bleeda/100K is a rap crew and a neighborhood clique from the north side of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But according to the police, they a gang that been having issues with different groups in Louisiana. One most noticeable, 4K Trey, an alleged gang that was allegedly associated with NBA Youngboy. Some say the beef with NBA Youngboy has started after his younger brother B-Way, who's another well-known rapper based out of Louisiana, was shot at, leaving his whip being shot up in the process. This incident took place in Glen Oaks, which is also an area that the RealBleeders are known for getting busy at.
No. No. No, that big, no, you got hit up. Them look like 2, 3, 5, 5, 6 bullets. But they was trying to get him.
There was also the Bleeders member, a well-known rap star who went by the name of RealBleeda, was allegedly responsible, which led him to being gunned down. But let's slow it down for a second. The members was originally tied in with another Glen Oaks rap crew called Jungle Music, until a beloved member named Monty was shot and killed back in March 2014 at Fredo Bang's birthday party. Monty was also the older brother of the young Baton Rouge rap star RealBleeda, who, as we just mentioned, was shot and killed in February of 2022. He was just 18 years old when he lost his life in a hella gunfire near the Mall of Louisiana on a Friday afternoon. Police had swarmed the intersection of Blue Bonnet Boulevard at around 1:30 p.m. after an unidentified shooter had opened fire from a vehicle near the entrance of the mall parking lot. There was 4 people in total in the car with RealBleeda. The car was targeted by the shooter, which was covered in bullet holes when officers had arrived. 2 of them died at the scene, and another 2 were taken to the hospital with serious injuries. Even at that time, police said the shooting stemmed from a a feud between violent groups. They said the attackers reportedly left their own bullet-ridden car behind and were picked up in a separate vehicle to get away. BRPD later identified the two killed as 19-year-old Clifton Lindsay and 18-year-old.
Damn, so that, hey, the niggas say they left that bullet-riddled car behind, so that nigga, I guess the niggas got blicked there too. I guess the niggas got gunned down, nigga blicked back or some shit. I guess them niggas thought shit was gonna be sweet or easy ass lick, but them niggas, you hear me, was on that, drew down on their ass.
IPD later identified the two killed as 19-year-old Clifton Lindsay and 18-year-old Dante Dorsey, the local rapper who went by the name of RealBleeda. May they both rest in peace and level condolences to their families. The two surviving victims were 21 and 19 years old, according to authorities.
Damn, that shit crazy. I remember that. I remember them niggas was on Playhouse or some shit like that. It was getting into it and shit like that.
Turn your best idea.
Blue Bonnet and Bacardi. Upon arrival, we found a car that had 4 victims. 2 of the victims been transported to the hospital. 2 other victims have died here at the scene. Now, we want everybody here in the community to know that this is a targeted shooting. We have information of the vehicles that were involved. We have a second vehicle that has bullet holes in it. We know that the individuals that were inside of that car, who we believe to be the shooters, were picked up by a third vehicle. So we know that someone out here saw something. We asking the community to come forward with information. Now we're going to review cameras that are here in the area in hopes of getting some video surveillance footage that we can review in hopes of finding the perpetrators that are responsible for the shooting. So again, 2 are deceased here on the scene, 2 have been transported to the hospital, and we do know that this is a isolated incident. The individuals that were inside of this car were targeted. There are some situations that are happening in Baton Rouge of individuals having issues and rival groups that are committing violence against one another. So we're asking the community to come forward with those individuals.
Bro, all the police doing is to wait until all these niggas die. You hear me? I feel like the same shit they doing with Dirt. All these big ass gangs, bro, they just waiting till they know who doing it, bro. They just letting these niggas kill back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They doing the police job for them. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? You hear me? They doing the police job for these niggas. Nigga, police ain't gotta go looking for the nigga because the nigga, you hear me? Like, you see what I'm saying? That's why I feel like the police know what's going on. The police know who did this. They just playing a part. You hear me? They just playing their part.
You know that may be involved, so that we can hold those responsible for this shooting and place them in jail.
The police also found out later after this situation that a week prior at Lindsay's house on Revere Drive in Glen Oaks, his sister, 16-year-old Shamaya Lindsay, was shot and killed. And just like the mall shooting, that shooting was also intended for her brother, Tremaine Lindsay, but he had survived. And because he shot back, he was arrested on attempt murder charges.
Baton Rouge Parish.
What the fuck, nigga? He got shot at. That is staying your ground law, and bro, what the fuck is wrong with these niggas, bro? That is staying your ground law, brother. Like, with these niggas dick eating, the nigga got charged with attempted murder for shooting back. Oh no, they tripping.
Survived, and because he shot back, he was arrested on attempt murder.
Then nigga, why you at your motherfucking mama house, the main motherfucking house? Nigga, you ain't got your sister killed some bullshit you got going on in these streets, man. But that's a number 1 rule, bro. Never bring the shit to where you lay your head at. I didn't even know that. And I wouldn't even, yeah, I mean, like, come on, man. Y'all niggas fumbling out here.
Baton Rouge Parish continued today with a deadly shooting just a block from Glen Oaks High School.
Investigators sharing few details tonight, but News 2's Johnson Von Springer was at the scene for hours this afternoon learning more from witnesses.
Yeah, not too long after school let out, gunfire rang out. 3 people were shot tonight. One of them is dead. Just after 3 o'clock Friday afternoon, 2 ambulances leaving Avocado Drive in the Glen Oaks neighborhood. Sirens blaring, lights flashing. Minutes before,
I ain't never seen a school bus in Cali.
In total, 3 people were shot, one of them killed in the street. Layers of crime scene tape, throngs of witnesses and passersby, the aftermath. As the sun set, the coroner's office arriving to yet another homicide. As of Tuesday, 143 homicides had been reported in East Baton Rouge Parish for 2021, a record. This time last year, that figure stood at 113.
I'm
The
knowing.
driver's
That's
side
I was
window
out
of this
there.
white SUV
I'm
shot
knowing.
out. Sources telling WBRZ gunfire was exchanged between people in that car and others near a home. Gunshots from the person returning fire near the home are believed to have hit and injured the 3 people in the white SUV.
That's why it's an attempted murder, cause niggas don't got no motherfucking aim. That's why the niggas that got blinked at in the car hit the people that's in the y'all niggas, bro. Drive-bys, y'all niggas ain't got no aim. Y'all niggas ain't hopping out on 10 toes by the what y'all niggas doing? Like, come on, man. You hitting kids and shit. Niggas in the house sleep. You whacking them while they sleep. They ain't got nothing to do with this. You over there. Come on, man. Y'all niggas fumbling, bro.
Was an adult and her 2 children in that car who went to a house for an altercation. According to one witness lingering by yellow crime scene tape, this all began when a group of girls was on the street to fight before the many shots rang out. That witness, who did not want to go on camera, saying a male had been shot in the mouth, his mother in the side, and his sister.
Of that victim has not been released, but tonight the coroner's office telling me it is indeed a female, and the sheriff's office has not provided any details on potential suspects or arrests. And when the 2 surviving victims were taken to the hospital this afternoon, we were told one was in stable condition, the other critical condition. So,
based on the RealBleeda's beef, people always assume that somebody from the Vultures, CJ, came to mind because of a quote he put on Instagram, and another person named Old Town Jade, who repped 4K Trey, who lost his life, was allegedly responsible for the shootings of the RealBleedas during that period in 2022. Nonetheless, during that time, NBA Youngboy was still becoming one of the biggest names in hip-hop. And when it came to the Bleedas, they only hope far as making it to the music business was RealBleeda. Fast forward to 2025, he started to make more music, more appearances on YouTube. NBA Youngboy just came home from the feds, and he would drop music with one of NBA Youngboy's alleged opposition. Just 2 weeks after him and Fredo Bang have released that music video, May 19, 2025, the Monroe, Louisiana Police Department was called to the mall on Millhaven Road after a male subject was seen allegedly flashing a firearm inside the mall. The police didn't have to do much of a job as well, because the video was posted by whoever was with the perpetrator. Authorities identified Bleeda as the male subject. I learned that he was involved in an argument with 2 members of YNN, a street gang in Monroe. After the exchange, the words Catherine and Tyreek Rollins, another member of the Bleedas gang, began to film the 2 YNN members as they walking away from the argument.
Oh, bullshit, scary Monroe ass niggas, man. Oh, bullshit, niggas, man. Look, tear this bitch up right now. Oh, come on, guys. Tear this bitch up right now. No, nigga, man.
My thing is, what you gonna shoot and hit all them people in the motherfucking mall, brother? You know y'all niggas ain't got no aim out there. You gonna shoot and hit a nigga in the mall, brother? Y'all niggas flashing bad in the mall though, bitch. You whipped that bitch out in the mall. Nigga wasn't playing with that bitch, yeah. That bitch wasn't that bitch was, man, that bitch flashing bad on camera, you hear me? That bitch really finna yeah. You know what I'm saying? That bitch finna yeah, what they yeah out there? That bitch start acting bad though, son. Ain't even gonna fake, bitch. Like, what you finna do? You finna hit him and everybody else in that bitch? But you gonna clear the whole mall out so ain't no witnesses? But you crazy. You gotta do some thinking, son. Your dumb ass ain't got indicted for this shit. Now you got your dumb ass indicted for something else.
Shortly after, RealBleeda and his homeboys would get arrested, but it would go weeks, and RealBleeda didn't get a bond. And this is where things get spooky. As of now, we don't know if the firearm he was caught with allegedly connected to a homicide in 2024, or he was just there.
Do they got the firearm? Did he hold it? Did he hide it? Where the fuck the firearm at? Y'all let me know, bro. I know 9 out of 10 in the South, we do some other shit with our firearms.
Shot the wrong vehicle. But 2 weeks while incarcerated, David Catherine, aka RealBleeda, would get arrested for first-degree murder. The victim was identified as Teresa Carligan, a homicide that took place in 2024. Teresa, who was described by her employer as having no beef with anybody, was waiting at a traffic light at the intersection of Airline Highway and Greenwell Street in September 16th, 2024, when another car had rolled up next to her. An occupant of the vehicle allegedly opened fire on Teresa's car, striking her multiple times and killing her. Her car then rolled into the intersection, crashing into a Sherp deputy vehicle. The Baton Rouge Police Department announced Tuesday they believe the shooter was the Baton Rouge, Louisiana rapper, RealBleeda. Now, Catherine, aka RealBleeda, has been charged with first-degree murder, as mentioned, and as of now, he have no bond.
He gonna beat it, bro. They ain't got no evidence on him. They ain't got no evidence on him. He gonna beat that. They got that nigga with no bond with no evidence. Y'all just get just conspiracy theories. That's all y'all doing. Y'all don't even know if nigga really did it or not. Man, that's it for the video.